Right, I've got the AR-15 bolt off a 2.2 AR-15 here. It's manky, had about 400 rounds through it. Needs cleaning, so I'll show you how we clean it. Zoom in a bit for you. Okay. Right, so the bolt's completely out of the upper and comes apart really easily. You pull down on the bolt and these two arms, if you like, open. It's like a fork and it holds the barrel adapter in place, and you just gently lever them apart and out pops the barrel adapter. Keep your thumb on that piece because it is spring loaded. There you go, bolt strip for cleaning. Really easy. So we'll put this recoil spring to one side because that doesn't really get a lot of crap on it. Bit of soot maybe. Okay, where's my trusty cloth? So I've got a kitchen cloth. I nicked off the wife, don't know. Good job she doesn't watch these. So I'll just wipe all the loose soot off the working parts. There we go. Don't use lube on the AR-15. Run it dry. It builds up less crap that way. These runners, the guides, are polished through wear partly, and the previous owner who had it from new actually polished them as well, and it runs perfectly well without any lubrication in it at all. Obviously, being no lube in there, it's not going to pick up soot and what have you and form a, you know, that horrible black mud that you get. It will eventually, but not for a great amount. You do get little spots build up. You can see on the back of this slide piece there's a little bit of soot built up there, a bit of wax, and it just comes off. I mean, just you can see it just scrapes straight away. I could scrape it off with my fingernail if I wanted to. So yeah. I haven't sprayed it with any cleaner yet. This is just as it came out of the gun. So all we do is just give it a wipe, get the loose soot off it. Good job. I'll give that squirt with cleaner in a minute. There's the barrel adapter. So there's the chamber piece. So the barrel will be here. So my finger's the barrel, if you see what I mean. And the bolts that way around when it's together. And when the gun operates on blowback, this is forced backwards by the blowback action, and it comes forward and picks up another round from the magazine, which gets fed up that feed ramp on the end of the barrel adapter there. So that feed ramp needs to be absolutely clean, and it isn't because it needs cleaning. So if I just quickly scrape at that with my fingernail, there you go. Again, it's polished. Again, partly through wear and tear, and partly because the previous owner polished it. And it comes from the factory pretty much polished anyway. There we go. So that's nice and shiny. There's a bit of wax just sticking to it, so I'm just going to get my little dental pick. It's not sharp, it's totally blunt this, but it just knocks anything that's sticking on there, it'll just knock it off without scratching the steel. Okay, let's give that a squirt, let that soak in for a minute. Same on the runners. And then move on to the bolt. Okay, so this is the actual bolt piece. This won't disassemble any further. Oh, well, it can. You can take the firing pin out, but you have to knock a roll pin out to do it. And I've done it once in 2 years, and it didn't need cleaning inside. So don't worry about dirt building up on your firing pin. It ain't the problem. So same again. You just got all the soot and wax is built up on the bolt. Just a case of wiping it down, really, and getting all the crap out of it. You know, not difficult. Again, this is where when you've got little nooks and crannies, I just like knocking the crap out with a little dental pick. It's almost like shoe polish when it comes out. It's a mixture of burnt carbon and wax. Now, I have found for ammo with this, my particular gun will cycle pretty much any ammo, including subsonics. What I've found works is CCI standard, that blue box stuff. That works really well. That's what I normally put in it. But I have found the current batch of good old-fashioned Gecko, you know, the red box cheap stuff. It's about 52 quid a thousand, give or take. and it's dry. It doesn't have any lubrication on the bullet. It's completely dry. Runs great in this. So probably because I run it dry anyway, it seems to like the Gecko ammo, and it's more than powerful enough to cycle the slide. So woohoo, cheap ammo for me. Right, so all I'm doing here, you've got lots of little channels and whatnot on the bolt where it runs up and down those runners. You've got the Q-tip in and just knocking any crap out that's in there. And there's not a lot building up in the channels really. A little bit of hardened wax on there, just knock it off for me. Pick. There we go. Alright, now on the bolt face itself, there's a bit more build up of wax and what have you, and again it just comes off as soon as I touch it really. There you go. Again, I'm not scratching the metal when I'm doing this, I'm just kind of rubbing it across the surface. I should use a toothbrush really, but yeah, you know, whatever. Right, there we go, I'll give that a squirt. Okay, let that sit for a minute. While that's doing that, I'll do the runners, because that's had a good soak. Nice and reliable now, this AR-15. I had some problems with it initially when I bought it. There was a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Discontinuity, that's not the right word. There was a little ramp at the top of the feed ramp going into the chamber. There was about 1/1000th of an inch of lip, that's the word I'm looking for, lip on the barrel, and the odd round would catch the lip as it fed into the chamber and it wouldn't feed properly. Fixed that easy enough with a small file, just literally half a dozen strokes with a file, and I took that lip off the bottom of the barrel where that feed ramp is supposed to feed into the chamber, and that little lip was just like creating a little step. 6 strokes of the file sorted that, and it's been running like a sewing machine ever since. Thousands of rounds through it, and not a single failure to feed. I had a couple of rounds of ammo that didn't fire, but that's ammo. There's nothing wrong with the gun. Right, that's nearly done. Just a little bit of wax on there. Let's get that scraped off. There she goes. How often do you clean these? I do if I've been shooting the gun outside, I'll do it every time because it's damp. If I've been shooting it indoors, I do take the gun pretty much every time I go at the range, so that's 2 or 3 times a week. If I've only shot 100 rounds, I'll probably leave it and then shoot it again in 2 days' time, and then I'll clean it afterwards. I found for reliability you can go, depends on the ammo. If it's not the stuff that's greasy, like this Gecko stuff's dry, you know, it doesn't leave a lot of crap behind. Well, the previous owner, Mick, told me he'd gone over 1,000 rounds between cleaning it and it was still running. I wouldn't go that high myself. Certainly 300-400 doesn't seem to be a problem, and I've shot that many in a day on it, and it's fine. And in fact, you know what, it's easy enough to strip on range if you had to. No screws involved or anything. You're not doing anything you couldn't do on a bench with a, you know, say a cloth or a scrap of material or something. If you wanted to clean it when you're on the range, but there we go. Yeah, that's alright. I'll go back in the gun. That's clean enough to do the job. No problem. Just get a Q-tip in that little channel there. I just noticed there's a bit of, there we go, a little bit of cleaner was left in that channel. Right, that's done. Bolt, I'll just give that a wipe because I sprayed that with Brunox. I say I prefer to run the gun dry. I have run it with lube. I've tried Frog Lube. It's alright, it worked. Tried that in the SIG 522, it worked there as well. It smells nice, but didn't see any benefit from it, to be honest, compared to running the guns practically dry. The SIG I run, SIG 522 I run near enough dry as well. It's just got a little bit of Brunox left in it, but pretty much runs dry. Right, reassembly. Not as difficult as it looks. So you've got a little rod here, it sits in a a hole, and that's the spring guide. So you put your spring on like that. This is the only tricky bit. You've got to hold the bolt down against the spring when you put the barrel adapter back in. It's easy enough. So the spring goes in this part of the bolt. It slides down. It's just a long tube. Runs the length of the bolt, obviously. And then what I'm doing now is I'm guiding these two arms into the two channels on the side of the bolt. Keep the spring parallel. Right, that's now engaged. The end of that rod's just inside there, so that's keeping the spring in position. What I'll do now is just put my thumb over the top, pull it all the way down. It's not a huge pressure. Yeah. Right, and I've got to clip this back into the rails, and it just clips in one side, then it clips in the other side. The arms are a little bit flexible. You can pull them apart, the spring back in. You're only moving them 1/2 mil to get it back together. Right, that's reassembled. That's ready to go back in the rifle. That is your AR-15 Cyma conversion, if that's the right name for it. Clean. Easy peasy. Right, where's my AR-15? Ah, there it is. Come here. So there's the upper. Again, cleaning. You know what? There's not a lot of crap builds up in here because it's such an open design. There's the barrel. There's just a little bit of grit, you know, off the primers in there. Really, not a lot. I haven't already cleaned this before I started filming. It's just as I took the gun apart, and you know what? There's a little bit of crud just behind the barrel there, which wouldn't actually cause any problem because the bolt doesn't move there. But I don't like it sitting in the gun. Right. That is pretty much, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's it for cleaning. Right, let's get this bad boy back together. Where's me lower? Right, there's the lower. No cleaning to do in there, I checked it earlier. So all we do now is we put the two halves back together. So there's the two sections. Push the push pin, line up the holes, push the pin. That's it. So the upper and lower are now hinged together. And reassemble of the bolt is simple. The charging handle has to go in first. You know what? I'll just give this a very quick wipe because I haven't wiped it yet. Again, there's not a lot of crap builds up on this at all. There we go. Just make sure there's no damp got on it, really. Yeah, it's fine. Clean as a whistle. Right, so the charging handle goes in the top of the receiver. Actually fits into a little groove like that, and then you just pop the bolt straight in the back. And this only goes in one way, obviously. That slides in and put them together and do up your push pin. Oh, you know what? That's it. I can't do anything with my left hand. Sorry, folks. Totally rubbish from your left hand. Right, so that just goes back in like that. Right, there we go. There's a charging handle, and gun's reassembled, and that's ready for another 200 or 300 rounds. So before we pop it in the safe, I'll put my safety flag in, so don't forget it, because it's going out with me tomorrow night. Right, that's it. No drama. As far as cleaning the barrel goes, just whack a pull through it, like you do with any other 2.2 barrel. Don't bother with cleaning rods and jags or anything. Just whack a bow snake through it every now and again. Obviously I take the moderator off for that, but you know what, that just unscrews. I've already cleaned the barrel. I'll do that when before I leave the range. There's the old Moderuni. So it's great. You can get at the barrel so easily. Just push whack the push pin, pull the ball out, stick your bore snake through, and you're done. It's a 2-minute job, and then there's no nasties left in the barrel when you're leaving the range. Don't give it deep clean, just pull a pull through it. There we go. Right, put my moderator back on. Which reminds me, I must get my ticket altered to get this on for pest control. It's a very accurate gun for subs, very good bunny gun. Previous owner had it for bunnies, and it was smashing. There we go. Alright, that's it, we're done. I'm going to tidy up before the wife gets in.